Hello guys, here I have a couple of lights from Nitecore. Alright, here's the Nitecore tube, a very popular seller on my store. It's popular because it's relatively cheap. I don't know if $25 is all that cheap, but it's relatively cheap, alright? And it has pretty good user interface, press and hold for momentary, and then you double click for turbo, okay? And then single click you get low. Really nice, easy to use user interface, decent built-in rechargeable battery with that's charged via micro USB port, so it's pretty decent. It comes in a bunch of different colors, clear, blue, pink. Sells pretty well for $25, all right? Recently, Nitecore came out with a new keychain light, and they call it the tip. So tube, tip, all right? And this one is pretty cool. It has two buttons and has a very high capacity battery in here. I was shocked when I first got this package and I saw a built-in 500 milliamp hour cell. And I was like, 500 milliamp hours, that's the capacity of a IMR 16, most IMR 16340. And that's a pretty fat cell. So I was not really, I didn't really buy it, okay? But I took the light off and the battery was huge. The reason the light is this thick is because the battery is that thick. And the battery takes off a huge portion of the light. So it's very good that they were able to cramp such a high capacity cell into a keychain light. And taking a look at the numbers here is very impressive. On turbo at 360 lumen, which is very bright, it gets 30 minutes, okay? And at a lower level, 150 lumen, you get an hour and a half. An hour and a half, 150 lumen is very impressive, all right? Crank it all the way down to an ultra low, 1 lumen, you get 46 hours. That's a lot. That's very impressive. I try to give this light a little power boost to, gain a little bit more output, like I always do, but I realized not really worth it. You start losing modes when you start losing the higher levels. They're all seems to be the same level once you start overboosting a light like this. And then I thought about it. It's not really worth it. The light heat sinking design is okay. It doesn't. It's not excellent where the LED sits on this shelf, and the shell doesn't really connect to the body. The shell though is made out of aluminum, and it kind of wrap around the reflector, which relieves some of the heat, but it's not the best heat sinking design out there. All right, it's okay, but you know what? It doesn't really need to be the best because it only on turbo it only puts out 360 lumen, so the current draw is not all that high for the factory design. But with a boosted version, is probably not a good idea. And I really like the user interface and the spacing of the original light, so I'm just gonna leave this light as is. Another reason for me to just sell this light as stock is because this tube is currently $25, and this light factory stock is $30. So with just $5 more, you get a substantial amount of upgrade in output, and I like the user interface on this newer tip too. So why mod it and make it more expensive for just little gains, right? For a lot more money usually. So let's look at the user interface here. A very cool user interface, I might add. All right, so the power button, here's the power button, and here's the mode changing button. All right, so from off, if you press and hold the power button, you get this really low mode. All right, from off, if you press the mode changing button at the front, you'll get instant turbo or 360 lumen. Right, so that's pretty cool. And when the light is turned on, pressing the front button, the mode changing button, you get the different levels, 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 levels, but if you press and hold, you get instant turbo, which is very neat in my opinion. And one other thing that I didn't really like about the Tube VN is when you have it hanged on a key and you accidentally touch the button, it will turn on and drain all your battery. On this light, it does the same thing. However, there's a lockout mode. If you press both buttons, the light will blink once, telling you that it's now in lockout mode. So you can press the button and the light will not turn on. If you press both buttons and hold it down, the light will resume operation, normal operation like so, right? So very simple. Lockout, if you have larger thumbs than mine, you can possibly just hold down both buttons and put the light in lockout mode like I just did there, right? And then press both buttons on the side and then the light will resume normal operation. So something this tiny, you have instant low, right? And then you have instant turbo just by pressing and hold the rear or the front. And that is very neat. Built-in micro USB port. I'm not sure why they don't put a little rubber boot here to cover the micro USB port. So if you have this light on your keychain, junk or dirt or whatever, pocket lint or whatever can actually get into this and plug up this little USB port here. So that is something that I don't think is very well thought out or well executed. And because of that, I don't know if this light is all that great with waterproof either. What does it say here? IP54 rated. So what is that, like splash resistant? So it's possibly really light splash resistant, but not. You don't dip this in water, okay? I haven't tried it. I don't intend to because of that direct water path, penetration path. Otherwise, it's a good light, very strong, sturdy, made out of metal, very nice. $30, okay? Thank you.